Ladies and gentlemen, I present you guys Kailh in two different flavor, but characteristically supposed to all be the same, but they're not. They are not the same. They are so different from each other, which is the most interesting part. Now let's begin with the Black Widow, which has the Razor Kailh Green, which is supposed to be more of a modified version of the Kailh Blue. And it sounds like this. It is the softest of the three, and it's a different color too. Moving on here, we have the Zalman or Zalman, depending on how you like to pronounce it. This one came with the Kailh RGB Blue, but the LED is pointed on top of the switch instead of inside PCB. And it sounds a little bit like this. I believe this has the most distinctive sound out of all of them. It sounds distinctively Kailh. I don't know how else to describe it, but like when I think of a Kailh switch, I really think of this particular sound. Then we have the TT Esports Poseidon Z TKL. This one also has Kailh. And it sounds kind of like this. This is sort of the middle ground out of the three. This is supposedly the stiffest, even though, to be honest, Kailh is actually quite soft. But this is the stiffest and the crispiest. So if you like your Kailh nice and stiff, this is the one to go with. This is sort of the Goldilocks, where it's not super stiff, but it also doesn't have that distinctive sound too. Some might say this one has an identity crisis, but it's alright. It's still pretty addicting to press though, which is what's nice about it. And then we have the Razor. This is the softest and the mushiest out of them. I think only the Razor Kailh boards has this distinctive sound. It almost sounds gummy to a sense. See, this feels really crisp. And then, once again, we have the middle child. So if your favorite flavor of Switch is Kailh, then I would recommend the Black Widow. Now I know that's blasphemy. Why would you recommend the mushiest one? Well, in its defense, it's the softest one. And it's the one where I know I can type for a long time with it. This one is really addictive in terms of the sound. Like my will to type on this one is also very, very high, but it's not as high as this particular one. And then this one is sort of, it's kind of like a weekend warrior kind of deal where I I do like to type on it, but just on occasions. Because the sound isn't as satisfying and the feel also isn't as satisfying, but it's still pretty alright out of the three. So of course, with my personal opinion, I go with the Black Widow, but I know a lot of you guys are against me on that one, but it's alright. Anyways, I hope this video was helpful, and of course I will provide typing tests. And if you liked the video, please like. Also consider subscribing for more content.